Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset, whose mind is being blown wide open. These Maria interviews are absolutely phenomenal. The level of questions that are being asked and the answers that are being given are. My heart is exploding today. As I was listening to it, I've listened to it a few times. I listened to it while I was doing the gardening, and I was like just cackling maniacally at just being so extremely excited. My whole being is bursting with the truth and this feeling of this is going to happen. This is going to be the greatest revolution in cryptocurrency since Ethereum. I honestly think it's going to be since Ethereum. These conversations have been absolutely explosive. They're so rich, they're so in-depth, it's going to take me a while to actually unpack them. So all I'm doing today is I'm going to bring them to your awareness, and I'm going to share with you the three things which I found to be the most exciting. One of them was talks about the Bank of Hexico. The other one was it talks about how all the pSTABLES are integral to the system's survival. And three, the influences and the benevolent whales that we actually have in this ecosystem. And that's really just scratching the surface of my excitement. My mind was just blowing up. There's a whole nother video as well. So with that, let's just get straight into it, because I wasn't going to do a video today, but I couldn't contain myself. So, okay. First of all, this one is about the bank. Oh, actually, let me just. First of all, this one is about the Bank of Hexico. So let's actually take a look at what Maria is talking about here. And as a matter of fact as well, just on the matter of Hex, can Maria save Hex? This is a very interesting, well, actually, it's not in the hands of Maria only, but the way that Maria can actually utilize Hex, I think, is going to be very powerful. Maria also mentioned in this video, with all that Hex that he's bought up, basically using that yield to feed into the Atropa ecosystem. That is mega, 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 mega bullish for the Atropa ecosystem, and mega bullish in the way that Maria actually fluctuates between the different coins. He will have a natural interest in wanting to keep Hex at a nice, good, continuing upward price. So with that, what does he say about the Bank of Hexico? Because this blew my mind. Let's have a look.
Trade. And the idea is you have this counterfeit asset that has a good use.
So just for a bit of context, they were actually talking about different kinds of assets and their performances in financial systems, and he was asked the question about the cap and trade. So let's have a look at what he's saying.
You can pass it as being beneficial enough that nobody wants to prosecute you. And every time you use that counterfeit asset, because of the nature of it being counterfeit, you want to improve the value of every transaction. And so between hedges and subsidies, which are the only two types of commodities, if the hedge is something that you want to bet two things against each other, and the subsidy is something that you just want to like push it and make it grow. The process of growing this asset to a certain limit based on the hedge dichotomies and the growth of the subsidy it's how the financial institutions build their munitions company versus their national infrastructures. And so if we want to build Hexico as like Bank of Hexico, like the way that we're going to have to do that is the same way that everybody else builds every other bank. And so if we can find, because that information is not public, if we can find enough of how they do that to start doing it, and we don't find anybody that says that's the wrong way, we'll find more and more people that say it's the same way everybody else does it, and then we'll get Bank of Hexico to exist the same way as all these other banks exist.
Bank of Hexico. This, for me, that was one of the biggest things about the Atropa ecosystem that I loved from when I started learning about it. is that it's this financial system. It's this new financial system. And even somebody in the talk there was saying that they really feel like something inside of them is telling them that this is the birth. This is like a revolution. This is a whole new financial system. And if there's going to be any chain that it's going to be built on, it's going to be Pulse Chain. It's going to be around Richard because he's the GOAT. And his mind is like, that's one of his goals. So of course he's going to be, the chain is going to attract people with those interests. Look at all the people in this blockchain that have those interests. Access Alive was talking about it yesterday. I'm always talking about it. Maria's talking about it. Like, people are actually gravitating to Richard who actually want to help build this new financial system. That's pretty massive news. So if we can actually achieve that in the Atropa ecosystem by doing enough right things where nobody can come along and say, hey, you're not allowed to do this, SEC or whatever, whoever it is that can actually come and prosecute. If you just keep ticking all the boxes that all the other banks do, who can stop us? Who can stop us from making our own bank? Then we're going to have this whole ecosystem of tokens behind it with the backing of collateral. We're going to have our own pSTABLEs. It's revolutionary. We're not going to need to rely on the financial system anymore because we've got our own bank. We've got our own fully decentralized financial system. Do you understand the implications of that? I don't know if you do, but for me, that blows me away, because once we have our own bank, we can actually start to go experiment with what are some rules that we can make? What kind of systems can we actually produce within this economic system that's going to promote different kinds of behaviors that are different to like greed and adversaries and PvP. Like, this is massive, man. This is revolutionary. This is bigger than, this is actually, in my opinion, bigger than Ethereum. So this is going to be like one of the biggest narratives coming up in the future. And I'm willing to bet that if we pull this off, this will be the biggest narrative in cryptocurrency within that period of time. It'll be the narrative, just like we had DeFi summer, just like we had NFTs. It's going to be like the creation of a fully decentralized bank, the Bank of Hexico. And it's going to be goated, the Bank of Hexico. So Richard Hart. Not only that, look at James. What a guy. Like, this is one of the things that attracted me to Richard as well. I saw beyond the mask. I saw beyond the public mask. And I see the same with James. I listen to his words. I just hear sincerity. I hear humility. I can feel like the beauty of his heart. He actually wants to make the world a better place. He wants to actually help people. He's talking about a lot in this video as well, that the whole idea with the Atropa ecosystem as well is to create a system where people can actually trust. So it should be trustless, but people should be able to trust the system and trust that he, through all the burn liquidities that he's doing and all the setups that he's doing, can never dump on the system. And if he does dump on the system, it's actually against his benefit. It's actually better for him to maintain the system as it is. That's brilliant. I'm sorry, but that's like one of the best ideas in cryptocurrency, again, that I've seen in a very long time. And I'm not going to say it, but there was people that were criticizing him, but I'm not going to say it. It's just like so childish, man. Like, like I saw some high school comments on Twitter. It's like, man, these guys really need to grow up. It's really, it's really sad that you focus on those things and you miss the beauty and the quality of someone's being just by focusing on certain things. So the next point, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Bank of Hexico, HEXICANS, OG HEXICANS. How does that make you feel? That as an OG HEXICAN, day one HEXICAN, that makes me feel very, very excited. That makes me feel so excited that Hex can go up another level. Awesome news. So the next point we're going to be talking about is the pSTABLES. So this one is also very interesting. This is something that I've been emphasizing a lot, and it's really good to hear it straight from James's mouth.
I think we're seeing a similar thing with the pSTABLEs. Like, the reason that USDT particularly stays at a lower level is they're wanting to have more of that token distributed long term.
So the context of this so far is that pDAI has been a lot further ahead than the rest of the tokens, and so he's basically going into some detail about pUSDT.
Do we view all the pSTABLEs the same?
They're not tracking the same.
They're not far off really as they started. They started very far off.
My boy, what quality questions. What a goat. Young goat. Love him.
They're not really far
They've been off by as much as 70% at times.
Right now, I don't think they are that.
Yeah.
But are we viewing them as that? Sorry, are we viewing?
That's all right.
I just want to know, like, are we viewing them the same tokens, or as we know, USDT's got admin keys, as we know, USDC,
Yeah.
they've got free centralized banking.
In my opinion, we have to trust all three of those, or we're going to lose the whole system.
We have to trust all three or we're going to lose the whole system. So what I hear there is opportunity. Let's keep listening.
Yeah.
But you build around pDAI first, a little bit about pUSDC.
Yeah.
How does pUSDT going to peg also has stabilized at one?
So it's stayed at a lower price almost the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know what the long-term plan for that is specifically. If I guess, the arriving at $1 range, they'll all three end up arriving there at the same time. But at this stage, the buying into USDT is more valuable from my perspective, because the bag of pDAI and the bags of USDC are already built. When the token prices were tracking more higher, like there was more disparity than there is now, it seemed to me more valuable to buy pDAI because it was going to track the highest price. If they're going to grow further apart, pDAI is going to get there first if it follows the same trajectory.
So Maria's saying that they're all going to get there. That's really the goal of, well, that's how they're tracking along. Yes, they're moving at different rates, and pDAI is running away because of the narrative around pDAI. We have the crypto kings pumping it. We have the majority of the market pumping it. We have the perception that it's the safest one. But Maria is basically telling the market that if this system is going to work, all three actually need to work. And I think even still, it's going to, in people's minds, honestly, there's still going to be that risk factor because they have the admin keys. But there's also going to be this idea that whoever's playing with the pMakerDAO vault can actually do something different to what's happening here. So it's actually going to be a very interesting dynamic. So me personally, I'll be accumulating pUSDT. And Maria also went on to talk about in there that you heard essentially that the opportunities, it really sounds like the opportunities are in pUSDT. And this is not to say the others aren't, but basically what he was saying is pUSDC, pDAI, this part of the system is already complete. I wish I could draw on here. I'm not sure if I can, but you can see the bonding here. So everything here within this my mouse ring, this is all the pUSDC, pUSDT ecosystem. So this is already really built out. It's a very highly developed ecosystem. Mantisa here, SteadyPup emphasized with his meeting with Maria that Mantisa, Atropa, Teddy Bear, QuingDAO were all supposed to be on the same level. And Mantisa is like the next stage. So when I heard that from SteadyPup, I took that as like, Mantisa is going to be the next stage. Mantisa's Telegram has like 51 people. pUSDT is the cheapest, but it's going to get built out. So what does that actually mean? So in the same way that all these things are like, there's like this multiplying effect because there's all these tokens that are connected to pDAI, which is connected to Atropa. It's going to be the same with Mantisa, with pUSDT, and then all this ecosystem that's going to get built around it. So it's almost like this has to be completed first, and then the next stage is going to be this. So that's where the opportunity lies. And so even if I do show the charts for the PUS, just to emphasize, look at this for like if I had a million DAI, I could swap that to USDT and I'd get 1.5 million, for example. If you're looking at it against the dollar, so I like to track these against the US dollar, and I've got the little lines here. So these are the, man, when you look at it at log, it's like it's really not that unbelievable. So this is almost double. This is now double. pDAI is really just flying, man. It's flying and it's really breaking away from the pack. But pUSDT is really lagging behind. So that's opportunity. That's what I see. That's where I'm going to take the risk and keep accumulating this, because if I believe in this ecosystem, then I'm gonna back that. And it's not to say that maybe the pMaker vault is going to be irrelevant, but I want the Atropa ecosystem somehow to be involved with whatever's happening with the pMaker Vault. I don't fully, I believe somehow the Atropa is going to be the collateral for that somehow as well. So it might, the pMaker Vault might actually not even, I'm sure it's going to be a piece of the puzzle. I'm sure it's going to be a piece of the puzzle, but I don't fully know how. Let's just say the pDAI actually stabilizes somehow, and then in some way the pools can be so thick between pDAI and then pUSDC and pUSDT that somehow by pDAI being bonded, it can bond the others in the same way just by virtue of the liquidity bonding, the burnt liquidity, or anything. Maybe somebody could set up some arb bots that just infinitely buy and sell. I have no idea. That's just speculation, but these are some of the interesting things. So I, as being more speculative and really being in a position where I don't have a great deal of wealth and I really want to be a big player in this system. But if I'm going to be a big player in this system, I need to actually like take some big risks now. So because I'm a very small player in this system. Maybe in the future I'll be a big player. And the reason why I want to be a big player is because I want to protect this system. I want to be one of those benevolent whales that actually protects this system. So with that, the final thing that I was like mega bullish on, again, my boy, I'm not going to dox these guys. If they want to give their names out in the comment section of the video, feel free, my boys. But otherwise, these guys are lads. Listen to these guys that are in Atropa.
It's live, they got 1,000 people on live. That's what we do music.
Right.
So hang on, he was just talking about his TikTok live. Some of his friends made 1.3 million in a year from gifts on TikTok live. I was just like, what, when I heard that? Okay, please keep doing TikTok lives and please keep pumping Atropa bags.
YouTube subscribers will go over 2 million. Just YouTube stuff. That's all the whole streamers all together.
2 million subscribers on YouTube.
Go 2 million.
Okay.
We do rap music from Albania, but we've grown up in England. We do concerts here. We do concerts all over.
Okay.
All over the place. And we have got a lot of streams. We've got a lot of viewers, and we've got a lot of followers. My mates, one of my partners that we got the music going on, he's got just on Instagram, he's got 2 million plus followers. I've got about 89,000 followers.
Okay.
2 million followers on Instagram, his partner, and he's got 89,000, so nearly 100K followers on Instagram. So their influence is huge for a start. So if this ecosystem continues to expand, their influence is massive. And I love him. Listen to the way he talks. Look at his demeanor. Look at his nature. Like he's got that curiosity. He's got this beautiful mind that he really wants to learn. And if you listen to the whole interview, you can really tell he's really there. He flew all the way there from the UK to actually be there. And actually, how can I contribute to this ecosystem? How can I help it? What can I do? Tell us what I can do. These are the whales that I want. These are the whales that I want. If he was asking questions like, oh, what's the next token to buy? Oh, is this a good buy? Or should I keep holding my teddy bear? It's like, they're not the kind of whales that I want because they have the greedy mindset. I want these kinds of whales. Oh, I was so bullish when I saw this. I was so happy, man. I was so happy. So finally, let's go to the charts because it continues to pump. And this is exciting for everybody because, boy, what a day. The market's extremely excited. So Atropa now broken out of this little zone, which is very, very key. So it, just like pDAI, has broken out of this zone, and pDAI has flown out of this zone. So now it's got to break this key level here. So it has to break this level here. It's almost touched it. And it's basically got a little bit more to go. So just over 2x now. So it was 2.5x yesterday. So just over 2x to break its all-time high against a pulse chain value. I would love to see that. And then I would love to see it just go one last little parabolic run. What do you guys actually think? What do you guys actually think about that, just for the record? Do you guys think that we can get a little blow off top here within this little bullish run of everything that's happening around Maria? It's really giving a lot of confidence to the market. That's really created this surge in the price. Do you think that we can actually break the all-time highs against pulse chain? They've broken it against USD value, but what against pulse chain? That's what I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about that. We'll go to a little bit more charts, not too much, not too many more. Just, well, actually, the two main ones, like I said. So this is against Pulse Chain. We know it's broken against PS, against USD. It's broken out of this zone here. So this is very bullish. And Atropa now. So Atropa with pDAI, if pDAI continues to track, Atropa will do. Now, I'll leave it at that, actually. I don't know if Maria was saying that, because at the moment, the ratio is essentially, if I go to the USD value, so the ratio between Atropa and, well, it's a little bit less now. So, well, it's about a 10. It's a 10 to 1. But basically, Maria was saying that Atropa, by the time pDAI hits $1, then Atropa will be 3 times further along. So I don't know if that means, let's just say they're at the moment approximately 10 to 1 and it stays 10 to 1 as it hits $1. Well, it can't because it's 10 to 1. So, and he was saying 3. Or if it's going to be pDAI, Atropa, and then Atropa's just slowly going to break away. And by the time pDAI pegs, Atropa's an extra 3 times further. So it'll be, instead of 10 to 1, it'll be 30 to 1. So we are so blessed. We are so lucky. So I couldn't contain myself today. And I really had to, like, I did a lot of work around the garden. I really had to burn off a lot of energy because I was so beaming. I had to really calm down before I did this. And I straight away went to tell my boys, I was like, look at this. This is amazing. Bank of Hexico. I exploded with excitement. And whenever I've had these feelings, it's not something where it's like, oh, I've discovered this thing. I'm so great. Look at this thing that I've discovered. It's like when I hear something and it's the truth, my whole being vibrates. And when I have that feeling, it's like, that's the truth. It's never been wrong. It's never been wrong. It's never been wrong. And the way that I perceive it, this is my crackpot theory, but everything is just energy and light. So if I hear the truth is just, it's an expression of, well, the truth is energy and light, but words transmit degrees of truth. And so as the degrees of truth are resonating through this being, they vibrate with this being. And if this being is in harmony with truth, those words that are also in alignment with truth, there's an explosion. There's an explosion. And that's what excitement and enlightenment and revelations are. And so whenever I have that, it's never, ever, 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 ever been wrong. So my faith is through the roof. I perceive that to be like, because in the universe, it's just energy and light. Time is just in the human mind. There is no time. It's just the eternal present. So the energy there in the future is really just, it can be transmitted back to us instantaneously. There is no, so however the future is going to be, it's already like it's done. It's done. It's always going to be done. It's always forever going to be that way. And so just like Jesus said, you can move mountains with faith. So on that, maybe I'm going to do it anyway because it is Ramadan. So I was just, the first book that popped into my mind, I actually haven't read this book, but I spoke about Jesus. But how beautiful is this book? So this is the Holy Quran. So I haven't actually read it yet. And what I do is sometimes I like to just flick things open and just see what's there. So I did that today and I put a little bookmark there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this little part of the Quran, which jumped out to me straight away for the closing passage. So lit is such a light in houses which Allah has permitted to be raised to honor for the celebration in them of his name. In them he is glorified in the mornings and in the evenings again and again, by men whom neither traffic nor merchandise can divert from the remembrance of Allah, nor from regular prayer, nor from the practice of regular charity. Their only fear is for the day when hearts and eyes will be transformed in a world wholly new, that Allah may reward them according to the best of their deeds and add even more for them out of his grace, for Allah provides for those whom he will without measure. But the unbelievers, their deeds are like a mirage in the sandy deserts, which the man parched with thirst mistakes for water, until when he comes up to it, he finds it to be nothing. But he finds Allah ever with him, and Allah will pay him his account, and Allah is swift in taking account. Man, really touches my heart, because it resonates, man. It's all just the truth to me, and I hope it doesn't trigger anyone, and I don't want honestly, if there's any debates about whether it's Christianity and Jesus is the one and Muhammad is the one, I'm going to delete those comments. You can leave your gratitude, please, but I don't want arguments about religion in any of my comment section. I think they're all magnificent. I think they're all beautiful. I think they all talk about the same thing using different words, but I just found that so profound because it talks about charity, and it just talks about the best of their deeds, and that Allah may reward them according to the best of their deeds and add even more for them out of his grace. What we're doing here, what everybody in Atropa is doing, what everybody there, what Maria's doing, James, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Maria, I'm going to keep calling it Maria. They said James there, but I'm going to keep saying Maria because it's just easier. Those guys all had the right heart. You could just see it. You could see the words that they were saying. They had the right heart. They're there to give. Gratitude. Even Richard Hart talks about this as well. Richard Hart talks about gratitude, having gratitude. When you have gratitude and abundant mind, the universe just keeps giving back to you. The universe just keeps giving back to you. The universe, Allah, God, whatever you want to call it, just keeps giving back. And I really feel like this is what's happening with the Atropa ecosystem. We're on the cusp of one of the mightiest transformations in the financial system. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Be grateful, be well, continue to enjoy your Easter and your Ramadan. I love you all. Take care.